because I'm still in the house, but I should be
All right.
set.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the podcast. You'll notice that we didn't upload anything last weekend, or at all, and the only reason because of that is because we got another fucking forced not upload because some shit was controversial in it, and we're not fucking uploading it. It wasn't even me this time. So
Well,
that's what happened. Is that like things were said that were not meant to be said. It was misinterpretation and it was bad. But that's why we didn't upload because somebody was a big old fucking doo doo head. That's why, because somebody was a fucking idiot.
in my defense, I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, it was him, and he was a fucking dumbass.
I don't know if that's a coaster, but I'm gonna use it as one.
Yeah, just do it, man. Just do it. So I don't have much to talk about. I do have some things to talk about. So, 2 of my college classes start tomorrow, and I just want to talk about something really quick. I know that this I know that this isn't really going to apply to a lot of people except for me. I am really pissed off with the college that I go to at this point because they're doing things that I really don't like. Like, in order to sign up for classes, they required me to live on campus. You know what I'm saying? Like, they said, if you do not sign up to live on campus, you cannot take any classes. I said, all right, fuck it. I'll go and live on campus. Only to realize that I tried to, because I did this last year, I spent one part of the semester, one semester on campus, one semester off campus. So half the year on, half the year off is what I did last year. So I spent my one semester on campus this year, and I tried to leave, and they said that I couldn't because it's not a semester lease anymore. It's a fucking year-long lease. So they pretty much said, no, you got to live on campus. Like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to live at home, and I'm not going to live on campus. I'm not living on campus again because I don't fucking want to. But 2 of my classes actually start tomorrow. 2 of them start tomorrow, and for the most part, it seems like they're going to be run-of-the-mill. You know, you do a lot of reading, you do a discussion board, and you take a quiz. One of them, which is a social media in society, it's a journalism class, we do a lot more, like, hands-on, like, group project type stuff, but I'm not really worried about either of them, because each one of them, the syllabus, like, says, you know, readings for today, materials needed, things to do. So every single week, it like breaks down all the things you need to get done and basically what you need to do them. So I'm not really worried. It's really just going to be getting down to it and doing it. The hardest part of college classes is the day before trying to make sure you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Because like it actually isn't that hard. It's actually pretty easy to get ready, but you're always like, fuck. The day before is always the hardest because it's like you got to make sure you have everything ready. You got to make sure that everything's good and all that shit. Online classes, you get a bit more slack. You really just have 1 week to do certain things, and then you get them done, and that's good. You don't really have to go to classes or anything like that. It's like bare minimum. You read the chapters you need to read, take notes, do your quizzes and all that. I love online classes better than normal classes. They're simpler, they're more basic. I feel like I learn more. So that's tomorrow. Just kind of want to give a little bit of a heads up, I guess, update. That's not really like an actual thing to talk about, but it's something that I wanted to kind of throw out there. My first topic is I think IDUBBZ kind of did a thing on this. I really fucking hate how some places make you say really like cancerous shit, like restaurants specifically. Like for example,
Oh my god.
I don't like how Starbucks the sizes aren't like small, medium, large. It's like venti and grande and Trenta. It's like fuck you, bitch. I don't want to say that stupid shit. I'm serious. Like if you ever go to Starbucks, you have to say like venti and like fucking Trenta and like bullshit like that to say your fucking sizes. You know, I don't want to do that. It's like, bitch, give me the biggest one. I never say grande or fucking anything like that. I say, give me the biggest size. Give me whichever one is the biggest. Because I'm not saying that shit. And another thing is like Cold Stone Creamery. Their sizes are like it, love it, and gotta have it. That's fucking stupid, man. It's small, medium, large, cunt. Like, it's not fucking...
I never did understand that, nor do I like it, because you think about it like this. Why are you trying to be quirky?
That's, dude, that's a perfect way to...
business.
That is a perfect way to describe it, is being fucking quirky. We just, like... That never works. Every time a business is quirky, everyone fucking hates it. It's like, can you shut the fuck up? Like, corporate shill, like, fucking corporate greed and soullessness. Can you shut the fuck up? Like, no, you're not quirky and you're not anything like that. Another thing is, like, for example, have you ever been to, like, an IHOP or a Denny's?
Mm-hmm.
And how, like, on the menu, it says, Rudy Tooty, nice and fruity pancake. It's like,
Dude,
give me the goddamn fucking strawberry pancakes. I'm not saying that shit. I'm not saying that shit. You know what I mean? Dude, I hate that shit. I actually fucking hate it. It's like, hey, can I have, like, the blueberry and strawberry pancakes? They're like, what? I don't see that on the menu. I was like, bitch, I'm about to walk out of here and not give you any fucking money. Give me the goddamn fucking berry pancakes. I'm not saying that shit. I'm not fucking saying, can I have the Rudy Tooty nice and fruity pancakes? Fuck you, man. I'm a grown man. I'm not saying that shit.
I hated that shit even when I was little. Like, I just look at the menu. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to say this.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to say. I don't want to say this
Please
fucking.
Don't make me.
I don't want to say this fucking embarrassing gay shit. Like, it looks so fucking so bad. I hate it. I hate that shit. Or like fucking like fucking bananas. It's, you know, it's like banana nana faux fana pancakes. It's like, I'm not saying that. Give me the fucking banana pancakes. Give me pancakes with fucking banana in them.
Even as a kid, I hated saying that shit. Cause like, I remember one time I went to a fucking Denny's, which, by the way, I don't like Denny's because their food is garbage.
Dude,
I'm sitting there, I'm looking at.
I feel like Denny's and Waffle House are the same thing. Nobody ever wants to go there. They just kind of end up there.
Actually, I like Waffle House because they actually make their shit fresh. But so me and my family were at Denny's this one time, and I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, I'm really in the mood for these fucking pancakes. And it's like you said, the name was so ridiculous and so butt fucking retarded. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to say this.
It's like,
please.
It's like, I'm sorry, but I really just don't want to fucking say this, like, out loud. Alright, I have, like, way too much, like, respect to say this shit out loud, so just give me, like, pancakes with, like, banana in them, because I'm not saying this shit, like, for real. I ain't doing it.
Like, you know, there are some exceptions, like when you sunny, like, what the fuck are they called? Sunny side up eggs or whatever they are, because that's the actual name. I can understand that. But
Like,
when you have something like a pancake with fruit in it, do not make me say Rudy Tooty Fruity pancakes, because if you do, I'm gonna bop you in the nose.
right? It's like, I'm not
me being real.
I'm not even gonna order that shit. I feel like Texas Roadhouse kind of does it a little bit too. I love that place though, and what they do is, like, every hour they all have to line up in a giant line and, like, dance around and, like, sing about Texas Roadhouse, which is really fucking hilarious. Have you ever been to a Texas Roadhouse?
No, but you just reminded me of something that I also absolutely hate.
So what they do is, like, all the employees of Texas Roadhouse will line up in a line, and they'll, like, fucking, like, square dance or, like, lime dance or something, where they're, like, going to the right and then to the left, and then, like, turn around and they clap, and they're like, Texas Roadhouse. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? It's hilarious. I get to watch you guys, like, dance for 5 minutes, but it's really fucking weird.
Remind me never to apply for a Texas Roadhouse, because I'm not doing that.
No, you see, if I have to say, like, Rudy Tooty, nice and fruity, I'm not going to do that shit. But if I can, like, dance around and shit at my job and sing about Texas Roadhouse, I would absolutely do that, because that's actually funny, and you're, like, self-aware. That's actually funny, you know? Whereas, like, Rudy Tooty, blah, 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 isn't actually funny. It's just really fucking embarrassing and, like, stupid. Whereas, like, singing and dancing is, like, kind of funny, because it's like, yo, aren't you supposed to be, like, fucking working? And it's like, I am working. That's kind of funny. I would do that.
Okay, fair enough.
I
Fair enough.
would do that.
But that reminds me, you know how like when you go to like something like an Applebee's or a Chili's or something like that, and it
Yes.
happens to be your birthday? I've had this
Yeah.
happen to me so many fucking times because I absolutely love Chili's and their loaded mashed potatoes. So I'm at Chili's with my mom, my dad,
Nigga,
and
I've literally never even stepped foot inside of fucking Chili's. Like, for real. Never even been in
I love
there.
Chili's. I love Chili's. Well, anyway, so I'm trying to order a fucking sirloin because again, I love sirloin. I'm a fat boy. I like meats. And
Why the fuck are you ordering a sirloin steak? You should be ordering like a fucking T-bone, like a fucking porterhouse, dude.
because I wanted to try sirloin. That's
You've
not
never
the point.
tried
Point is,
sirloin? That's like the fucking like
no,
most basic steak.
I heard clapping coming down the aisle, and dude, I didn't even want to turn around because I knew
Right.
what was coming. And I'm like, Mom, please don't do this. I just want to enjoy my birthday meal, please.
Well, here's the thing.
Please
Here's the thing.
don't do this to
Like,
me.
Applebee's, they do it weird, and like Bennigan's does it, but like Texas Roadhouse actually doesn't even sing to you, if I remember correctly. You get to stand on the table, and they introduce you, and they just make everyone go yee-haw, and that's it. You stand on the table, they introduce you, and like say your age and like your birthday and all that stuff, and then they say, hey, we need to give them a, Texas welcome, and then just go yee-haw, and you get to like stand on the table and shit. They actually do something that's actually cool though, because like you actually feel like you actually feel cool, you know. They actually do
What
do
if
a
you
good
fall?
job at Texas Roadhouse. I like that place a lot.
What
If you
if,
couldn't tell,
what if you fall?
you're standing on a giant table. You're not gonna fucking fall. Those things are in the ground. They're like cemented in the fucking ground, dude. They're not
No,
freestanding tables.
you can slip. You
No,
can
you're an
slip.
idiot. You're a fucking idiot if you slip. You're a fucking idiot if that happens. Just stand on the fucking chair then. Stand on the booth or whatever. Don't be an idiot. Oh, dude, I was at
Anyway,
Texas Roadhouse for my birthday, like a while ago. Like a couple months ago, and I wanted to order a bloomin' onion, but they called it something like really fucking weird because bloomin' onion is trademarked by fucking It's not Texas Roadhouse. It's something else. It's trademarked. Bloomin'
Outback.
Onion. Outback Steakhouse. Yeah.
Outback.
So they call it something weird. Like they called it something weird. I can't remember what they called it, but they didn't call it a bloomin' onion. They called it something else. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. And like, oh, it's kind of like a bloomin' onion, but we can't say that because that's trademarked. I was like, makes sense. Makes sense. So they literally have it as like something stupid on the menu, and I'm like, hey, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's a bloomin' onion, but we can't put that on the menu because we'll get sued.
We can't say that because we're gonna get sued into oblivion.
Yeah, it's
But
like
it's the same thing.
we can't actually say bloomin' onion, but it is a bloomin' onion.
That reminds me of something that's also equally retarded. But I didn't really plan on talking about it because this was for like the after show or whatever. But since you brought up retarded trademarks, how about the Red Cross? Like, what happened with them, right?
I don't think so. You're gonna have to cue me in on this one. Also, we're
So
talking about bloomin' onion, but like all these
I
Zoomers
know.
be cumin onion, you know? COOMIN, cumin onion.
So with the Red Cross, they actually trademarked the Red Cross, and so they basically tried suing anyone that used a very basic shape, which
Oh
just so
yeah,
happened to be
yeah,
red.
that is yeah. Isn't that like the fucking thing that's on like the side of ambulances? Like, dude, you can't just
Hmm.
trademark that.
And the thing is, like, it's like with video games and stuff. You know how like most health pickups would have the Red Cross on it.
Yep.
Well, most of them were changed, and they had like little pills or something, or it had the cross, but it was green. And it's like, dude, this is just like dumb. How can you trademark a shape that you learn in like at fucking two
Right.
years old?
Right. It's like I'm gonna make a company called Green Square, so all squares are now trademarked.
Yes, all green squares are now trademarked, and if you use it, I will sue you for upwards of $1 million or more.
Dude, that'd be really smart. That's a really smart like business decision. All you have to do is like start a bunch of really tiny businesses and trademark like blue circle, red square, orange triangle, and then you can just sue everybody in the world for using shapes.
Yeah, you could sue literally every
That
artist because art
exactly,
is made of shapes.
exactly. That's like the perfect way to get really rich. Is just by suing people for stupid reasons.
And honestly, they'd probably go through with it because courts love lawsuits.
I mean, it gives them a lot more like attention. So I mean,
Hmm.
yo, is that a fucking square, dude? That's trademarked, man. You gotta give me $100,000 to use that fucking square, man.
Bro, is that table square? Dude, you can't pay up,
Can't
buddy.
use
Come
it.
on.
Can't use a square. I'm sorry, but you cannot use a square.
You can use a rectangle, though. It's just different enough.
It's
No,
just,
let's be real.
it's
It's,
just different enough. It's
it's
like, I
just different
mean,
enough.
it's like, listen, man, it's close to a square, but it ain't a square yet, so.
That's like saying pink is a different color, which it's not, by the way. Pink is a shade of red. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong and needs to go back to school.
It's like, you keep your rectangles on that side, and I'll keep my squares on my side. We don't cross. You keep your shit over there, I'll keep my shit over here.
I got my shit, you got your shit. Let's keep them separate, okay? We won't want to get them mixed up now.
So, to transition into something a little bit more on the serious note, a video was uploaded. I don't know, I think it was in 2022 actually, that caused quite a fucking stir.
Oh boy.
Basically, there was this video uploaded by Mama Max called Pick a Side YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't really want to watch it because I thought it was really at a first glance to me it looked really attention grabbing because it looked like one of those basic sympathy videos where the dude's crying in the thumbnail. It's like, dude, this is a low blow.
So
But I
basically,
never actually watched it.
what it is, for the most part, is that a lot of people like Anxiety War, Pick Surprise, and like people like that who basically use their YouTube platform for like predator hunting. Anxiety War is kind of the big one.
Ah,
Mama Max is also a pretty big one, right? Are getting like hit with a lot of really, really ridiculous and unfair copyright claims and strikes. And
uh,
despite what people are saying, the whole point of the video is not this fucking pedophile war. Those people are fucking retards. Those people don't understand the point of the fucking video, right? The Pick a Side YouTube video that Mama Max made, quite literally, is just wanting to discuss in person with YouTube why the practices of striking copyrights, all this stuff, are going way too far because people are getting an immense and unfair number of strikes to the point where a lot of people think that YouTubers aren't going to be able to really survive on YouTube anymore because there's too many strikes being given out. Too many channels are being deleted. Like, people are getting fucked over way too much. And
yeah, I've never watched it, so I had no idea. But like, yeah, YouTube's copyright system is totally fucked.
it's not even copyright. It's just like strikes. Like people's YouTube things are
Oh
getting
yeah, what
fucking
am I talking
deleted.
about?
Like people's YouTube channels are getting deleted at a fucking insane rate to the point where people are getting strikes and punished and like it's way too much. That's what the video is about. He did talk about these specific YouTubers who are getting fucked the most, which is the Anxiety War, Mama Max, like child, like predator, like catching channels and all that stuff, right? But fucking even Penguins, right? Even Critical did a video on this, and even he thinks that the whole it's a YouTube versus pedophile thing is fucking retarded because that wasn't the point of the goddamn video. That's fucking stupid. Basically, what people are saying is that if they don't agree with the Pick a Side YouTube video, they're literally a pedophile apologist or a pedophile sympathizer. And it has fucking nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. All it is YouTube's strike system, their punishment system, like guidelines, all that. That's all it is YouTube's striking system. It has fucking nothing to do with that. You guys need to get off your high horses and stop being fucking goddamn retards. That's not what it's about. It is not about this fucking YouTube versus pedophile thing. It's not what it is. That has it's nothing to do with it. It's literally just that. And I just wanted to talk about it because so many goddamn fucking idiots are talking about how it's, oh, if you don't respond to this or whatever, you're a pedophile. And it's like, no, that has nothing to do with it. Nothing. That's not the fucking point. That is not the point. The point that Mama Max in his video was making is not that we need to purge YouTube of pedophiles. Not the fucking point, you retard. The point was that YouTube is going crazy with power so that channels are getting deleted way too fast and being struck down at an unfair and fucking insane rate. So, I mean, that's what the fucking deal is. That's what the point of the video is. And people are being AIDS because they're trying to fucking make it something that it's not. You know? This whole fucking YouTube versus pedophile thing is completely incorrect and has nothing to do with the video. And it's just fucking stupid sounding. You know? Because I fucking hate when people do that. It's like, if you don't support our message, you're a pedophile. It's like, no, I'm not. I just don't think that what you're doing is a fucking good idea. Like, I hate that shit. You're either with us or against us. You can suck my left and right nut. Fuck you, retard. Like, no, not how it works. You cannot just say my opinion is invalid and I'm a bad person because I disagree with you. No, you can put my nutsack in your mouth and suckle it. Fuck you. Like, seriously. You're a bitch. Fuck you.
Well, I think there's like a genuine discussion to be had here because, I mean, there is clearly like a pedo problem on YouTube. I mean, you think about how many YouTubers have been exposed for that fucking heinous crime.
I mean, it right? is, but like we're already YouTube is already working against that, and we've already discussed how there's a problem. Ever since Lion Maker Studios, we knew there was a problem. It's been a problem for like 10 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Lion Maker like is the most infamous example, but there's another one, like, I think Elsagate was its name, where there's like these really weird kids videos.
Yeah.
And they're still online, by the way. I see a couple recommended to me out of the blue.
Yeah, it was Elsagate. It was Elsagate.
So yeah, there's no denying that there is a problem, but again, the point of the video, at least from what I'm understanding, is that it's more so about YouTube as a whole going power hungry, like some sort of tyrannical government.
And people think that the pick a side YouTube is, are you on the side of YouTubers or pedophiles? No, not what the fuck. No, that's not what it is. That's fucking stupid. The pick a side YouTube thing is basically, are you going to listen to us, or are you going to just keep doing what you're doing right now? But people think that the pick a side YouTube thing is like, are you guys YouTube? Are you guys going to be pedophiles or YouTubers? It's like, that is the most retarded fucking thing I've ever said. Ah, yes, the duality of man, YouTuber or pedophile. You sound like a fucking moron right now.
Like, so, because I've never seen it. When I saw the thumbnail, I thought it was like some sort of attention grabbing bullshit.
It is attention grabbing. That's the point.
Well, that's why I didn't, because there's like this negative stigma of people like crying in their thumbnails, and it's like, because, you know, my brain kicked up like, okay, don't watch this because it's attention grabbing, and I don't like that shit. But from what I understand, the title Pick a Side YouTube is more so aimed at the context of, are you on the side of the creators or the people abusing their power, more so than the actual people on the site.
Yeah, right? That's kind of what it's about, is that channels are just, like, it really is a problem that is mostly about copyright striking, channel strikes, deleting channels, all this shit of punishing YouTubers and just getting way, way, way too heavy-handed with the hammer and making it so that people can't even do what they fucking want to do on YouTube anymore. Like, here's the thing. Here's why people think that this is a pedophile versus YouTube situation. Because remember when Susan Wojcicki or whatever the fuck made it so that people who troll are bullying, so every single troll channel just disappeared from YouTube because they couldn't be on here anymore. Xbox Addictions left, Cosdef I'm pretty sure left, like everybody left. You know what I'm saying? Like Pro Pepper, Rice Krispie, pretty much every single troller just left YouTube because they couldn't do anything. Their channels were going to be deleted. The whole problem is that now the like child predator catching YouTube channels are going to suffer the same fate. That's what it's about. And people are saying, "Oh, this is a YouTube versus pedophile thing." No, it isn't. That's not what this is about. That's not, like, it's just not what it's about. The problem is that YouTube is becoming way too heavy-handed with what can and cannot be on their platform. They're becoming too powerful. They can pretty much say, "I don't like your content. It doesn't need to be on this site," and then get rid of you. It is not about
Yeah.
YouTube versus pedophiles. That's not what it's about. It's about YouTube abusing their censorship to the point where they can just look at you, and if they don't like your content, they can just kick you off the site.
And here's something else. I've personally experienced this too, because I'm a pretty big fan of the Doom franchise. I think it's pretty cool, and someone is going around impersonating Mick Gordon, the composer of Doom and Doom Eternal soundtrack, and taking down music of it on YouTube. Someone is impersonating the composer to take down videos relating to Doom themed music.
I know, but here's the thing. YouTube sucks dick because even though they know it's a scam, because I feel like they do, even though they know it's fake, they're still taking it down anyway. Because it's like, well, I know that you're not the guy, but technically you have a point, and they take it down anyway. Because YouTube doesn't fucking care. They're the worst. They are the worst. Twitch is pretty fucking bad, too. Like, it got really bad because I remember that a speedrunner that I really liked was actually banned from going to AGDQ and SGDQ because he said faggot like 10 years ago because people were trying to get him to say that. They even after that made a post saying that they did it and bragging that they were the one that got shift banned and bragging about it. He is still banned. Doesn't fucking matter that they were intentionally trying to make it happen. It happened, and Twitch is like, well, I mean, he did break terms of service, so even though it was an intentionally blatant attempt to get him banned, we're still gonna ban him anyway. And YouTube does the same fucking thing. YouTube does it all the time, you know? It's like, even if someone is intentionally trying to get you banned, or intentionally trying to get you in trouble, YouTube will just be like, whatever. I mean, if they have a point, they have a point. Like, fucking Critical has gotten in trouble a couple of times, because YouTube is fucking stupid, like... fucking YouTube sucks. Like, YouTube sucks dick. They are the most robotic, dumbass retards ever, to the point where everybody complains about how it's basically talking to a wall, and not even like the robots like even talk to you. So Mama Max actually is going to YouTube and having a sit-down discussion with YouTube like advisors. Like, he's actually going in person and talking with them because he wants to talk about change for the future. And what they could possibly do to change to make it so that their website is not like Nazi Germany on steroids.
Oh my god.
Because their website basically is that. Their website fucking sucks.
I mean, I wouldn't go. I mean, yeah, they're bad, but at least YouTube didn't kill 6 million people because they were different.
I mean, I'm aware of that. I'm just exaggerating I'm just exaggerating intentionally for comedic effect.
Yeah, going back to the whole YouTube versus pedo thing, and going back to the whole troll thing, if that's using that logic, then YouTube has a war against trolls too, right?
Yeah, that already happened though.
Like it was a YouTube versus.
That already happened though. Like they're already.
I know, but
they've been gone.
My point is that when you say one thing, then it has to apply to the other because you can't just independently choose, right?
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it because this is all pretty much brand spanking new to me. But from what it sounds like, they just want to start wars with people they think they don't like.
Yeah, basically YouTube sucks, dude.
Ah, well, wasn't that just a rush? So, changing subject to something slightly more or slightly less serious but still worth talking about. When I told you I had a pretty weird topic, I wasn't lying. It's about pugs. More specifically, why they shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I think that it's our like I know what you're gonna talk about. I already know what you're gonna talk about. I feel like it's been talked about, and people know what you're gonna say, but it still is worth talking about, in my opinion. So
with pugs, I think we both know that they're inbred to the point to where they can't even function properly.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you
you can extend this to other dogs too. Like, have you ever seen the German Shepherds where their back legs are intentionally bred all fucking weird and like fucked and stupid to the point where they have like they look like they're crouching down all the time, so like their back isn't straight, it like goes down because they want them to look like that. That's also fucking up the like dog breed. You're not supposed to do that either. Well,
And
basically
I
what
guess
it is people are fucking up dogs on purpose because they want them to look a certain way. Like, for example, that German Shepherd thing. German Shepherds should have a straight back. Their legs should be the same fucking, like, length. But these fucking, like, German Shepherds that people are, like, breeding to the point where they're standing up and their fucking back, like, slants down like a slide and their back legs are so much shorter. Shit is not what it's supposed to look like. That looks fucking
yeah, and I was
stupid, and that's not what it's supposed to look like.
yeah, I was gonna say this could possibly segue into a bigger topic of breeding animals to, like you said, to look a certain way.
I mean,
Like for like you said,
the entire breed of the Dalmatian isn't supposed to have spots. That's due to inbreeding. I'm
and then
serious. I'm serious. Dalmatians are all white. The only reason why they have spots is because of so much inbreeding.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah, pugs
man.
specifically are like because like if their snouts are so like squished in, it's like someone just kind of pushed it in. But no, that's actually because they of so many years of inbreeding, and it's actually it fucks up their nasal passages to where they can't even breathe properly. That's why
You there's a
when they breathe,
if you don't know this, there's actually a breed of pug called the retro pug where the face isn't
I
smashed in
know
like
I was
that.
gonna talk.
The
I
face
was
is
gonna
like
talk about
the
that.
face is not smashed in like that. And you can argue the same thing with the English Bulldog. The only fucking difference is the English Bulldog has always looked like that. Forever. Like that's like you know how like English Bulldogs like with like their face all like that and stuff.
Yeah.
The only problem is that like they have always looked like that to my knowledge. So and yeah, it definitely causes problems, but like they've always looked like that. Whereas the pug did not always look like what it looks like now. They bred it to have more of a smashed in face. Whereas like English Bulldogs have always looked like that. Forever. That's just what they look like. That's just the shape of their skull and stuff. That's just how they look.
Yeah, because I even just now I looked up references of what pugs used to look like, and they look like your average like run of the mill dog,
Well,
but you
look
compare it to like
look up references of what English Bulldogs used to look like, because I'm pretty sure they looked like that at all. They just always looked like that. Pugs did not always have the smashed in face, but Bulldogs
no,
have always looked like that. The
yeah,
English,
bulldogs have always kept like the general same. I mean, obviously as years go by, things change, but for the most part, bulldogs have always looked like that since they were pretty much made, I guess.
exactly my point is that like if we're making bulldogs English bulldogs, that's just how they've always been. They've always looked like that, you know. So I mean, it's not really breeding the dogs into like horrible monsters. They've always looked like that. English bulldogs have always looked like that, whereas pugs have not always looked like that. Retro pugs did not have the smashing retarded face, So I
In fact,
mean,
and I bring it up because I recently saw like an article. I don't remember where I saw the article, but I saw an article somewhere. I think it was on Facebook. I didn't mean to send that.
what did you fucking send? I ain't
I,
the pinnacle
I
of
did.
knowledge. Facebook. That's where I
Well,
get all my
no,
information from. Hell yeah,
well, no,
dude.
I'm not saying I get. I take anything I read with Facebook with a grain of salt, especially now. But I saw an article saying that someone was breeding pugs to make them look more like their original selves,
Yeah,
and that's
that's
kind
kind
of
of a
what it.
new wave going around. Is like the retro pug like shit like that. People are trying to do more of that to like save the species because they're you know. So it is kind of like a movement going on right now, which is
Yeah, I
good.
guess in a weird way, this is kind of promoting that, which is good because it's a good cause.
Yep, I mean I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah, I'm looking through all these. I'm seeing images dating back to like the 18th, 19th, even 20th century, and bulldogs have kept the same general shape. But obviously, as years go by and things evolve and adapt, they change their appearances, but only subtly.
Mhm.
Like if you look at a picture of a bulldog from the 1880s and to now, there's going to be obvious differences, but they keep the same general shape. But you look at a pug from the 1880s compared to now, they're completely different.
Yo, do you watch Full House?
Used to.
Um, I was scrolling through my phone, and Bob Saget just died at 65.
God damn it! Are you serious?
I'm serious. Bob Saget is dead.
God damn it! 53 minutes. Ah.
Yeah, Bob Saget died. Full House
What
star
the
Bob
fuck?
Saget died 65.
First Betty White, now Bob Saget.
Right. Dude, John Madden died too.
No.
Yeah, dude, John Madden died like December, like fucking. He died before Betty White, I think. But yeah,
Oh my
fucking.
God, he died last year.
John
No, he died.
John Madden died, dude. John Madden.
I didn't even know about that.
Dude, the fucking worst part is that my stepdad said they always die in threes. And yeah, John Madden, Betty White, and fucking Bob Saget. Those are the three that 2021 took away from us. Technically, Bob Saget died in 2022, so it's already cancer. This year already sucks dick.
Well, for me it sucked dick personally, but now it just sucks even more.
Yeah, it just sucks a fat dick now. Musky ass, like, smegma dick.
Yeah, not the good musk, but it's like the bad. It's like the bad, like you don't shower type stuff.
Yeah, not the good musk. The, like, dick cheese, like, smegma, disgusting, like, gross bastard dick. Is what we're talking about.
And we're so concerned getting our channel removed.
Yeah. We were just talking about how YouTube is like way too harsh with their ban hammer, but our fucking channel is still up, and we go nigger faggot giant cock all the time. Fuck YouTube, fuck you, cunt Jinsky, and we're still up. So hey,
We're not exactly that big to even make.
hey, I invoke my Second Amendment right. I have the right to free speech, so I can say that shit.
Dude, that's your First Amendment, sir. The second is the right to bear arms.
Dude, I don't know that. I don't know that shit. I was in a history class like so fucking long ago, dude. Dude, you know when the last time I took a government class was? It was in fucking like 8th grade.
Everyone should at least know their First and Second Amendment. I don't know the third, but I know the first and second pretty well.
The second one is bear arms, right?
Yes, I just said that.
Well, the first is not free speech, you idiot. It's freedom of the press is first, isn't it?
Free speech and freedom of the press. That is literally the First Amendment.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, please do.
First Amendment. What is it?
Freedom of speech and freedom of press.
First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, press, right of people to assemble and to petition the government. Dude, that's like 4 or 5 different fucking things, man. Freedom of religion. That's like stupid. Yeah, the First Amendment right guarantees freedoms concerning religion, expression, assembly, and the right to petition.
Uh-huh. And what is your argument here?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What was your argument there?
That it wasn't speech.
Yes, it literally is.
It's freedom of religion, dude. And freedom of the press.
So you just gonna completely block out the first things you just said, freedom of...
No. We're moving on now.
Dude, you're the one in college too. That's...
Dude, the last time I took a government class was in like 8th or 9th grade, dude. Maybe 10th grade. It was like years and years ago.
Dude, everyone should know at least their first.
I don't know any of those. All I know is that I have all of them, so.
Yeah, I don't know them, but I know I have them.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what my rights are, but I know that I have my rights.
God, imagine getting pulled over by a cop. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Well, I don't know what those are, so.
No, those are Miranda rights, dude. Those aren't your fucking those are Miranda rights.
Yeah, see, we've come full circle. I proved you wrong, you proved me wrong.
I
So
was
let's
about
move
to
on.
say, those have nothing to do with your constitutional like amendment rights. Those are fucking Miranda rights, dude. I know about those. I'm fucking like, I know about those. I know about law. I know about those.
I find that really funny for some reason.
Like, I know about fucking those. I know about my Miranda rights. Yo, what is so funny to you?
I don't know. I just find that really funny. I don't know my constitutional rights, but I know my Miranda rights, which implies that you've had some run-ins before.
I have not. I just know what my Miranda rights are.
I find that extremely funny.
Dude,
I don't know why.
I've never gotten arrested. I just know what my Miranda rights are.
So you know what not to say, but you don't know the amendment that gives you the right
Dude,
to say it.
if I'm ever in any kind of trouble, I'm just gonna say I plead the fifth, because the fifth is the right to silence.
Sir, we just caught you murdering these 3 people in the open with knife still in your hand. Lips are sealed, buddy.
Yeah, literally, I'm not talking until I have my lawyer present, or I plead the fifth. If you don't say anything, they can't use anything against you.
I'm aware of that. I watch Law and Order, you know.
Yeah, so
just
don't say anything. Especially if you know you did nothing wrong, just say nothing. Don't say anything. You'll get off because you didn't do anything. If you know you're innocent, don't say anything. Literally just like put your middle fingers up and just have your mouth be closed.
I'm pretty sure that was in an episode once.
Literally just like put both of your middle fingers up and just don't say a word. Just don't say anything. Every time they ask you a question, answer like my cock. Like that's your answer.
Like, oh my god, that puts a whole new meaning to used against you.
Yeah, like provide them with like the shittiest fucking answers possible they can't even use. It's like, well, what were you doing on the evening of the 22nd? It's like, dude, I was beating my dick so fucking hard in my room that day. I can tell you exactly what I was watching too. So I was watching Renamon and Gilmon porn, beating my dick in front of the screen. So I didn't do shit. I was at home.
What did you do on the night of the 27th? I took a fat shit.
I got the cum stains to prove it.
I got the DNA samples to prove my innocence, sir.
It's like, hey, you can do some like fucking carbon dating on that shit. I'm telling you, it's like 7 days old. You can carbon date it.
It's at least 7 or 8 days old, dude. I've been here all day. I've been here all week.
Dude, they're in the evidence room. They're like feeling the cum stains on your boxers. They're like, I don't know, man. This level of crisp, it's probably a week old.
At that point, they just let you go.
It's like, the consistency, the crust seems about right. Smell is on par for a week old. He like sticks out his tongue a little bit. Now for the final test. Presses it. He like fucking gently presses it against your boxers. He's like, I would say it's about 4 days old. He's off the hook.
Good lord. How did we go from talking about pugs to this?
Yo, we need to like hardcore pause on some of the shit we just said.
Yeah,
like,
we really do. What the fuck?
It's like we need a hardcore like pause for like not even a second. We need to pause for like 10 fucking minutes talking about like sniffing, feeling, and licking a dude's crusty cum boxers.
How did we go from talking about the wrongdoings of breeding pugs to look the way they do to this?
I don't know, man.
Someone tell me.
I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
How did we go from a relatively sane topic to fucking crusty cum boxers?
Yeah, to crusty cum stains. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. That's a skill.
Only us.
Dude,
Only
that's a
us.
skill, man. That's an absolute skill. The podcast, the only fucking podcast ever to turn every single topic somehow sexual and disgusting.
We just take something and just corrupt it somehow.
Right? We just take everything and corrupt it. Like that one video where I accidentally said that I would come in front of kids at a fucking Chuck E. Cheese.
Please don't bring that up again.
Wait, we uploaded that video though. I
Yeah,
uploaded
we
it.
did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
That video was already uploaded. There's only 2 videos that we haven't uploaded. The one where we talked about that bullshit that we knew would get us in trouble, and the one that we didn't upload last week because you talked about some shit. The one where I was joking about like coming in front of kids at Chuck E. Cheese. Dude, I already uploaded that one. It's already on the site. It's already uploaded. It's been uploaded for like 2 weeks now.
Has it been 2 weeks? Jesus, time goes by fast.
You do realize that I did upload that video though, right?
Yeah, I'm aware you up. I didn't realize it was that long ago though.
It wasn't last week. It had to have been 2 weeks. Yeah, time flies, man. Time flies when you're beating your meat.
Preferably not in the ball pit.
Not in the Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Can you imagine like you get like pink eye from that, you know? And like the doctor, like you're like 7 years old in the ball pit. The doctor, are you sexually active? What is sex? And he's like, sorry, kid, you have AIDS.
That is so terrible. That is terrible. That is. Oh my god! I can't believe you went there. Oh, holy fuck! Dude, you're putting South Park to shame, dude.
I don't know why
Oh my god!
I don't know why I thought that was
You're
so
putting
funny.
fucking South Park to shame.
I don't know why I thought that was so funny. A kid goes to the hospital for pink. Are you sexually active? What is sex? You got AIDS, kid.
Dude, I don't know how you made the joke of Cartman giving Kyle HIV worse, but you somehow did. That is just, oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
And we were trying so hard to get this video out,
I
and then you tried to joke like that?
Dude, I wasn't trying, man.
Are you fucking kidding
Yeah.
me? We're trying to make this public, and you just pop out a banger, dude. Oh my god.
You go to middle school. This is something that would like be on South Park though. You go to middle school and it's like, guys, I have AIDS. I don't know what that means, but I got to meet the Avengers.
I don't know what that means, but I got to meet the Avengers.
Doctor said I had AIDS, then Spider-Man came in my room. Yeah. You got AIDS from the Chuck E. Cheese ball pits.
This is so fucking wrong. Oh my god.
Dude.
There's a reason why I don't make jokes like that anymore.
Listen. That's like South Park comedy, though. Like, South Park literally made an entire episode making fun of Magic Johnson because he had HIV, so... Listen, alright? This is a comedy show, alright? Like...
Yeah, but I have limits, you know?
It's like, if your loved one has any sexual transmitted disease, there are resources available.
I thought they weren't diseases anymore, and they were classified as infections.
They are classified as infections, STIs, but I forgot.
You know, funny you meant. Okay, so I know this is really weird, but I keep getting this ad for a technical institute, and it's called UTI. Could you think of a worse acronym for your fucking college?
No, I couldn't. Urinary Tractional Institutes.
I keep getting ads for it. And I'm like, is this a sign? Should I be worried about something?
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, man, do I have a urinary tract infection?
Like, is it trying to tell me to get a job, or should I go to a doctor? I don't know. Oh my god, we were trying so hard to just make this public, and then you just crank out a banger like that. I don't think you can top that.
Bro
I
got
genuinely.
bro got more yeast in his crotch than a fucking Little Caesars pizza.
Please stop. Oh my god.
Dude,
I think
so
that deserves a drink.
okay, so there's a fucking box in my room that I'm staying at, and it has the worst fucking like acronym on it. So all I see is DSPKY, and all I think of is like Dark Side Phil KY, like lube jelly. That's all I can think about. Dude, fucking DSP's face. DSP's face looks like a fucking like an ass cheek, like a pig's face.
Looks like an ass cheek.
His face is so fucking bloated, dude. If you popped it, I feel like water would leak out. Alright, so moving on. The last topic that I have to talk about is basically there's a little bit of IDUBBBZ drama with Sam Hyde.
Isn't Sam Hyde like the butt of every school shooting joke?
Yes, he was the one who, like, Sam Hyde is the one who was like, oh, he's like the single, like, he's the lone school shooter. He's like shot up every school. That's Sam Hyde. Apparently he was fired from fucking Adult Swim because of ties to the alt-right, but it wasn't real. It was like a BuzzFeed attack on him or something. Like, all I know is that Sam Hyde is a super, super, super fucking, controversial figure, and IDUBBBZ wanted to make a documentary on him. He's made documentaries on Dax Flame and Airsoft Fatty, so a lot of his documentaries are kind of like joking, like messing around, but basically what happened was Sam Hyde kind of tried to get one over on IDUBBBZ. Like, he hired like a crack like addicted woman to like be his girlfriend, and like he did a bunch of jokes and tried to like fuck with IDUBBBZ, and I think IDUBBBZ just got really upset that he was like trying to make a documentary about him, and you know what I'm saying, and he wasn't taking it seriously, and he was like fucking around, because apparently that documentary was filmed like 7 months ago, and IDUBBBZ just, I guess, told Sam that he wasn't going to upload it, which honestly a lot of people are probably going to either agree with IDUBBBZ or disagree. Honestly, it's IDUBBBZ's content, and he's making a documentary. He doesn't have to upload it. If he thinks you're being an asshole, you weren't taking it seriously, you're trying to fuck with him, any of that, it's his documentary. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the time, IDUBBBZ does a documentary on someone, it's either someone who's kind of like fallen out of fame or isn't like super well known. You know, so it's kind of an insult if he does a documentary on you, but he's also trying to help you, and he's like trying to like introduce someone who he thinks is an interesting person. You know what I'm saying? And like give them more exposure. So the fact that he would like do that for Sam Hyde, what I think happened is because Sam Hyde was trying to fuck with him so much, IDUBBBZ just said, you're not taking it seriously, you're trying to mess with me, I'm not uploading the fucking documentary. The only reason why I know that is because today Sam Hyde made a 2-hour-long video kind of like exposing IDUBBBZ and like showing all the footage. And in the beginning, he even says it's not to make IDUBBBZ look stupid, and we don't have any beef. We spent so much time and money on this footage, we're gonna release it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not like he's not trying to start shit. From what I can tell, he's just saying, hey, we spent so much time and effort on this, we're gonna upload it. You know, because we, you know, spent so much time and effort on it. If you're not gonna upload it, we're gonna upload it before you, because we want to do something with the footage, which I get. And a lot, like Sam Hyde was kind of saying it's probably my fault. I probably fucked up, and I probably upset him. So even he was kind of taking the blame. Honestly, I'm kind of on IDUBBBZ's side, because there are a couple things that could have happened. A, like I said, he kind of caught on, because Sam Hyde was trying to prank him, kind of fuck with him and make it funny. So A, IDUBBZ either caught on and was offended, or B, he knew that making a documentary about Sam Hyde, who's so fucking controversial, could really get IDUBBZ in like some really deep shit. He probably knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably knew that can get in some really deep shit. Because Sam Hyde really is a controversial person. He really is. Like, he calls out, like, Ethan Klein and other people because he's, like, really far right and, like, fucking, you know, calls them out. He's just a really, really controversial person. So, maybe IDUBBZ had second thoughts about it. All I know is that I'm on IDUBBZ's side with this one.
Wait, so, like, oh my god, all that laughing made my throat tingly. Jesus Christ. Like, when you say, call them out, do you mean, like, for actual shit they've done, or is it because of his political alignment?
No, like, because of political alignment. Like, IDUBBZ, like, during the interview was even like, hey, are you serious about that? And he's like, no, I'm completely serious. Like, Sam Hyde is just kind of a general, like, piece of shit, and he's just kind of a very controversial figure.
Oh.
So, I
he's
mean,
basically like Eric Cartman in a sense, in the fact that he can't really respect anyone that isn't himself.
I don't really want to talk so much shit on Sam Hyde, because I don't know a fuck ton about him. All I know is that he really has never been, like, not controversial. He kind of has always been controversial. So I don't really want to talk about him because I don't know a lot about him, really. All I know is that he's super fucking controversial, and I am on IDUBBZ's side on this one. You know, I mean...
So it's... Oh my god, my throat. So what it sounds like to me is that, you know, the troll got trolled, but he got trolled by a piece of shit or something.
I guess, like, basically, like, IDUBBZ does a lot of these, like, documentary things where he kind of is, like, a jokester, and he's kind of, you know, he's kind of the audience, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? He kind of plays the role of the audience, but he's also trying to make a genuinely, like, good, you know, like, interview, good documentary. A good way to describe him is like Tosh.0. Whenever like Daniel Tosh has somebody on his show, he's interviewing them, but he's also making like lighthearted jokes and like shit like that. That's what IDUBBZ does. So I feel like the fact that Sam Hyde like did all these jokes, maybe IDUBBZ legitimately didn't think he was taking it seriously. He was like, I'm trying to do a documentary here, you know, and you're like hiring, you know, these people to, like, tell me all this shit, like, you're trying to do these jokes and, like, prank me and shit. He probably was like, okay, if you're trying to get one up on me, I don't like being fucked with. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think happened.
Well, but then again, if it's like, if his documentaries are more so as a, like, just seen as a joke, then why would you even get mad at something like that, though?
I mean,
I'm just trying to understand.
They are sort of a joke, but they're also, like I said, I mean, they're not completely a joke. He makes jokes, but it's also an interview. It's also an actual documentary, you know? Like a real documentary as well. So, like, I can kind of understand because like, it seemed like Sam Hyde wasn't really doing a documentary. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of trying to take the documentary and turn it into like a comedy sketch with IDUBBZ getting pranked. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he even had a script that he was following. It wasn't really a documentary at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's hiring people. He's hiring people to prank IDUBBZ. He has a script. He's planning things out. It's not really a documentary anymore, is it? It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like turning a documentary and turning it into like a prank show. It's not really what IDUBBZ wanted in the first place at that point. Because he wasn't taking it seriously, and he was just taking the piss out of IDUBBZ. You know, like, if you were trying to do a documentary about someone, give him exposure and, like, you know, do a documentary about him, would you appreciate if they were taking the piss out of you the whole time?
I mean, if I knew it was a joke, yeah. I wouldn't really, if I knew it was a joke, then I wouldn't really mind. I just canned the project.
Yeah, that's what he did, yeah. He didn't upload the project. Like, he finished the documentary, but I'm saying he didn't upload it, and that's what the IDUBBZ Exposed is all about. Because he didn't upload the documentary, and I don't think he's going to. I'm just saying I'm on his side at that point. If that's what Sam Hyde was doing, I'm on his side at that point. Because the whole thing is that IDUBBZ got exposed today by Sam Hyde. And he talked about how they filmed a documentary months ago and IDUBBZ never posted it. And probably is not going to. Right? IDUBBZ hasn't responded yet, but if what Sam Hyde said was correct, it sounded like he was taking the piss out of him the whole fucking time and trying to turn it more into, like, it's really funny because at the very end, the Hyde family, Sam Hyde's family, actually said at the beginning it was IDUBBB's documentary, but at the end it was our documentary. Like, you could even tell what they were trying. Like, you could tell they were trying to make IDUBBB's documentary and turn it into the Sam Hyde prank show. Essentially, they were trying to make it their thing. Like, you get what I'm saying at this point.
Yeah, I don't watch any of them, so I'm having a hard time following, but I think I understand the most of it. So
I'm just saying, like, I can totally understand why IDUBBBZ would be upset or why he wouldn't upload the footage when Sam Hyde and his group of people were literally just trying to turn it into the Sam Hyde prank show and not like the fucking, IDUBBBZ documentary. Like, yeah, dude, seriously, if I was trying to make a documentary about somebody, and they were taking the piss out of me the whole time, it's like, well, I'm trying to make a fucking documentary here, you know? Like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but I'm trying to make a goddamn documentary here. You know, not a fucking.
I can understand that, but at the same time, I mean, like, I mean, it's probably like a hell of a lot of footage you have to discard, but actually, I'm gonna cut myself off there because I don't even know what I'm trying to say, and I'm wanting to avoid incidents of previous times, so I'm gonna just nip it in the bud. So.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is I think that IDUBBBZ not uploading the content, I'm on his side at this point. Like, seriously, like I said, if I was trying to make a documentary about someone, or I was trying to make a documentary, and they were taking the piss, not taking it seriously, trying to turn it into a prank show, and just not even fucking cooperating at all, I would just say fuck it, not uploading it. Like, fuck you. Which is probably what happened, to be fair. That's probably what happened. Because, like, even Sam Hyde was like, I think I pissed him off, you know? Like, even he kind of knew what he did, and they even admitted to it, so it's like, I'm not even really sure it's an IDUBBBZ exposed video. Like, really? Are we exposing IDUBBBZ, or are you saying, yeah, we fucked with him, and he got mad, and he didn't want to upload the footage anymore? It's like, it's not really IDUBBBZ exposed, you know? He got tired of you, and got pissed off, and doesn't want to collaborate anymore. Okay? I mean, happens all the fucking time. People do that all the time. It's not a big fucking thing in my opinion. You know, it's like, well, I wanted to collaborate, didn't work out, so we're not collaborating anymore. I mean, the fact that the documentary is finished, I mean, they can upload it on their fucking channel. They already did that. They already spent their money and their fucking time, and they uploaded their version of the documentary. If IDUBBBZ never uploads his version, there's no fucking skin off of their nose at that point. They just don't get the giant fucking exposure of IDUBBBZ, but like at the same time, like I said, I can kind of understand why IDUBBBZ is pissed off if they were taking the piss out of him the entire fucking time he was trying to make a documentary about him and upload it on his 10 million fucking subscriber channel.
So effectively, what Hyde did was sabotage IDUBBBZ.
Yes, yeah, essentially.
To put it in layman's terms, Hyde sabotaged IDUBBBZ.
I mean, I feel like IDUBBBZ probably had like a superiority complex. Like, I have way more subscribers than you. You know, I'm helping you out. You know, and it's like a lot of people don't really like that, but at the same time, it is kind of true because he is way bigger and he has a lot more subscribers. Like, you know, so I mean, it's one of those things where maybe he didn't like how IDUBBBZ had a superiority complex or something like that, but at the same time, it's like he really is trying to make a documentary about you and kind of help you out or just kind of, you know, teach people about you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
can I be real though, real quick? I'm not like I understand like IDOS is like helping and people. Personally, I couldn't handle that type of shit. Like if I want to start a channel, I want to grow at my own pace. Like if someone bigger guy, picks me up, like cool, fine. But like I couldn't handle like the influx of attention because I feel like I couldn't properly manage that. I mean, a good example is Dream. I know he's like the butt of every joke now, but it's true. Like this man grew out of nowhere and became like everyone's antagonist. Because
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
dude grew like spontaneously.
here's the thing, right? It's basically impossible to grow a small YouTube channel on YouTube. Like, because of the way that the fucking algorithm works and all this stuff, it's pretty much impossible to grow a YouTube channel on your own. You need some kind of collaboration. You need some kind of something, right? Which we're never gonna get, but that's what I want to get. Is like even someone like fucking small, like somebody who has like 80,000 or something, all right, and collaborate with them. I'm trying to find someone who will collaborate with us, because that's what I want to
Oh
do is get a fucking
no.
collaboration so that we get more subscribers and we get more fucking attention, right? Because we get nothing right now. But if we collaborated with someone bigger than us, we would get more. So I want to fucking collaborate with somebody. It's
Well,
not ever gonna happen, but
but the thing with me is, I don't really, I don't really know how I would be able to handle all of those eyes because what at some point you'd have to sacrifice most of your privacy, because let's face it, when you have that many people watching, shit is bound to be found out about you.
I
Because
mean, yeah, I
so
guess, but
I
like
I
that.
kind of preferred it to be like a more of a personal thing. Like I don't give a shit, if I get views on my artwork and shit, fine. I don't care. I do it because I like putting it out there, and if people like it, cool.
You see,
I kind of prefer it to be more personal.
I enjoy doing this, but like, dude, I'd be lying if I said that, like, if I got like 10,000 subscribers on here and I could do this as a job, that I wouldn't do it as a job. I fucking 100% would. All right, I would. I'm not gonna lie and say that I wouldn't. I do this because I like doing it, but if I can make money off of doing this and enjoy doing it, I want to fucking do that. It's just that it's impossible to grow a small YouTube channel. So I would like if somebody would collaborate with us so we could get more attention. Because even if we have like 500 subscribers or something like that, at least that's 500 people. So word of mouth and shit might spread more. All right? That's why I want a collaboration with somebody. I don't fucking even care
I
who
guess
it
what I'm
is.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I value my privacy too much to be that famous, because like being famous, like it sounds cool on paper, but like when you think about the whole, like, oh well, you have so many people watching you, and it's like, and when everybody knows your name, it's like, yeah, I can't catch a break
Well,
anymore, and I can't even live my own life.
you're not gonna go from like 100 subscribers to like 10 million. You might get like 1,000 or some shit. All right, you're not gonna be that famous like overnight.
And like I said, I guess my main problem is I wouldn't know how to handle that type of fame because I'm not that type of a guy.
Like I said,
Like I
man.
have, I have trouble enough speaking to 3 people in a small area, let alone 100 people.
Listen, all I'm saying
Because
is like if we got offered a collaboration, I would take it. 100%. I would take the collaboration.
I'm like, you've seen Dream's fan base and how fucking ravenous they are. Like they will stop at nothing to find out what he looks like, despite the fact he's been on record saying he doesn't want that shit at public because he's insecure, and I can understand that. I make fun of his music and shit because it's awful, but I can understand where the guy's coming from. I mean, like, dude pretty much grew out of nowhere, and now he can't even function privately because his little fucking fans are trying to find out what the fuck he looks like, and that's not fair.
I mean I
Let the
understand.
man live a private life.
I understand that, but at the same time, you have to understand the risk of doing that. He knew what the risk was, and he did it anyway. And now he's famous, probably exactly what he wanted. So I mean, he knew the risk. Same thing with like fucking corpse husband and shit like this. If you're gonna be a YouTuber and you want to be famous, you have to know what the risk is, and you have to deal with it. So
Yeah, and
I guess I can't
that's my
say.
point.
I guess I'm saying I don't draw any sympathy for him at all, actually. I don't draw any. Because if you're going to be a YouTuber and you want to get famous, right, and then you do, you knew what the risks were, so I don't feel bad for you. Because you knew what the risks were
I'm
going to
not.
be.
Hold on, let me. Uh.
Yeah,
I lost my train of thought.
you're fine.
It'll come back. Hold on.
Honestly, I don't even...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because I understand where you're coming from and like not having sympathy for the man. And like, yeah, that's understandable. I mean, if you looked at his previous content before he started pumping out that garbage, what he does now, he was obviously trying to get on the trending tab. I mean, the dude found PewDiePie's Minecraft world seed. Well, he didn't find it. He uploaded a video about it, and that's pretty much what got him big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that
So
you're trying to
I
be
under
famous and then you become famous, and it's like, well, you either should have done more research on what it's like to be famous, or you should have been more prepared or something. You should have known the risks. You should have. So I don't feel bad for him. He wanted to get famous. He got famous. He got what he wanted. I don't feel bad for him at all.
it's kind of like seeing like a local mom and pop shop becoming this big corporate entity that's just a shell of its former self, and it's like you used to be good,
Yeah,
but
and
now
now
everyone knows your
now you're
name,
fucking
and it's like
corporate. Now you're corporate. Your food tastes like shit and you pump it out faster than ever. Now you're corporate.
that's kind of how I envision it. Like when it's just you and a friend doing it, and like there's that more personal touch. It's a lot better because it's lowbrow and you feel like you're part of an actual community that no one knows about. But then as time progresses and you get more famous, you become more mainstream, and it's like, man, I remember the days of being able to just go outside and not everyone not know what the fuck I look like or what I sound like.
Right?
I miss those days.
Right? I mean, I'm not saying I want to be the most famous person on YouTube, but like I want to have like 10,000 or 100,000, enough that I have a fan base and that I can make money doing it.
I'd be content with 100. I'll be real with you.
Dude, no. I want enough to where I can at least make a little bit of money off of it, which is fucking 1,000. You need 1,000 to do that. You know, it's one of those things where it's like that's not the only reason why I'm doing it. Obviously, all right. That's not the
Oh
only
yeah,
reason. It's just it'd be really fucking cool if I could also do this and enjoy it and make money from doing it. Like that's what everybody wants. They want to make money doing what they like to do.
oh yeah, and I understand it, but you have to also consider that sometimes that's not always an option. Like for example, I thought I could make money off of my artwork. That didn't work out, so I had to work at a shitty 7-Eleven for like 3 months, and that didn't work out.
Yeah,
So like yeah, these thoughts are cool and all, but you have to put into perspective. Like what is the likelihood of this happening?
right. And it's low, but at the same time, you can keep doing it. I mean, I'm gonna keep doing this because it doesn't take
Oh yeah,
that
hundred
long,
percent.
and I like doing it. All right, but if this can grow and get bigger, then I'm gonna keep doing it obviously as well. Whether it gets big or not, I'm gonna keep doing it. I just would like it to get big.
I see your point now. Yeah, and I'm in the same boat. Like I'd like to see the channel grow. I would hate to see it lose that personal touch. Is my thing.
Well, I mean that's like, I feel like you can decide if that happens or not. Like for example, right? Like I've seen people go from a really good YouTuber to completely fucking corporate, right? Or the really good one was like Infinite Lists or like
Mm.
Jelly or anything like that, or like Sunday or anything like that, where now they're corporate fucking clickbait cancer that is garbage and shitty now. They're fucking awful now. If I ever become like Sunday, please like kill me. If I ever become like Sunday, please kill me. But you kind of decide because like for example there are people who got big who are not corporate. For example, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie have not really changed at all. They're still themselves. They're not corporate at this point. They're not corporate shams, so you can just decide to not be corporate. All right, and the people who get big usually get big by being themselves, because if you try and be like everybody else, you're not going to be like anyone. All right, you're gonna not make money. You have to be yourself, and people have to like you for you. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like the whole point, right? Is like you can get big and not be a corporate sham. For example, iDubbbz and Filthy Frank had millions of subscribers, and they weren't corporate shams. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do that. That's totally something that you can do. Like for example, fucking Charlie, Moist Critical, right?
Well, yeah, but
Critical
here's the
is
thing.
not
But the thing,
corporate either.
but the thing with Filthy Frank is like he left the channel because he didn't like what he was doing to do something else. So that I wouldn't really use Frank as an example there.
I'm
Because
just saying
he didn't
before.
like what he was doing.
Well, before he left. And he liked what he was doing. It's just that he didn't like the pressure of uploading. That's the whole point. Is that he said that he had too much pressure of uploading. He enjoyed his content and he liked what he was doing. He literally just said that it was too much pressure to upload every week, like he was doing. And he felt like he was getting way too overwhelmed. And the voice was giving him, like, serious throat issues. There were a couple of reasons why he turned down the channel. I'm just saying, he never got corporate, though. He never got corporate. You don't have to become corporate.
I understand, but that's my thing. I don't want. I know you don't have to, and that's my point. I don't want this to happen because it's you know trash. In a way. Well, not even in a way. It's just in general.
Yeah, I don't like fucking corporate shills either. Corporate fucking shams. I don't like that shit.
Like, if we ever get like a sponsor, God forbid.
No, dude, I'd love a sponsor, honestly. I would love a sponsor. If we got a sponsor, it would 100%. Our first sponsor would 100% be like Raid Shadow Legends or fucking Nerd Wallet or something. Ridge Wallet, that's what it is. Ridge Wallets.
The fuck did you call it? Nerd Wallet?
Nerd Wallet, but that's a website. It would be like G Fuel or fucking like Ridge Wallet or like NordVPN or like fucking Raid Shadow Legends. Hey guys, we'll take your money. Don't worry, we'll take your money. We'll promote you guys. We'll promote you. It's like please NordVPN, give us your money.
I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, so
Dude, I didn't have much more to talk about anyway. The IDUBBB thing was my last topic, so I have no more to talk about really.
I'll be right back.
I gotta keep riffing while he's gone. What's a good riff? I don't fucking know, dude. I have no idea. How do I riff? So I was playing fucking Destiny 2 the other day, and I was trying to teach this fucking idiot. And I swear to God, like, this motherfucker, like, every time I told him to walk forward or walk backwards, because I was teaching Garden of Salvation, and there's this tether mechanic where you have to shoot a box, and then a line comes out, and it tethers you, alright? And you have to connect the tether to the end. And every fucking time I told him, like, go backwards or go forward, the nigga would just, like, sit there and not do anything. I swear to God, he was an actual fucking idiot. Like, he didn't know how to follow the most basic of instructions.
I have returned.
Okay, I was, like, trying to riff, but I just told a stupid story, so...
Oh.
About some jackass who was, like, you know, a fucking idiot.
Ah.
Yeah, which, you know, dime a dozen these days. Dime a dozen. So... I don't know if we want to do, like, a mini fucking, like, episode or what. I literally don't have any more to talk about. I legitimately don't.
Well, I mean, I did have something else planned, but you didn't exactly do what I needed you to do.
Dude.
And I don't really want to have to talk about it without spoiling it.
Guys, so, basically, right, is that there's this album, I guess, that's supposed to simulate the stages of dementia, but it's, like, 6 hours long. And it's like, he wants me to listen to it, and it's like, my dude, that's so fucking long.
Well, no, I didn't expect you to listen to the full 6 hours. I just wanted you to listen to snippets of it, and I wanted to get your opinion on it.
What the fuck? I'm not gonna, like, how am I supposed to get an opinion if I can't listen to the whole fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Is like...
Well, I could have recommended you tracks to listen to, because I've listened to the whole 6 hours.
Dude, how?
Oh, trust, it was painful. I felt, like, empty inside.
Like, do you just, like, you know what I would do if I was going to listen to it? I'd probably, like, put headphones on and have it playing while I was, like, playing video games or something.
That's what I did. But, like, dude, halfway through, I couldn't even focus, because it was, like, I felt like I was losing my mind. Like, no joke, I felt empty. Like when they say this album will break you, they mean it because I legitimately felt like I was losing it.
Dude,
Oh, it's
the
so
album's
good.
gonna break you because you're just listening to fucking ambient noises for 6 hours, and your brain's like, this shit's fucking garbage.
Well, no, that's the thing. Because at first, the first two stages are comprehensible music. Then the second two are like, you're starting to lose it a bit. But then come the final two, it's like, especially the fifth, it's just static and ambient droning. But the sixth, it comes full circle, and it's like, oh shit,
Yeah,
it's getting real.
it's like why would I want to listen to ambient fucking noise and static? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, it's a concept album. It's not meant for. In fact, a lot of people find it pretentious. I find it lovely, and it hits close to home because my mom's side has a history of dementia, which scares me because that's related to me. So it hits close to home.
I guess. I mean, I don't want to say it's pretentious. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this is what they did, but it seems like something where you can just do a whole fuck ton of nothing with no effort and just make a gimmick with it so people don't look at it and say, wow, this is no effort and shitty.
Well, it's all like done via like digital like editing, but the samples used are from like actual ballroom music to simulate you know the music the elderly would have listened to at the time, which is why most of the tracks have like this grainy thing added to it. It's like it's a burning vinyl, which I didn't want to mention it because I don't think you listened to any of it, so
Dude,
I'll wait.
my fucking brother listened to the entire album, and you know what he told me?
No.
Don't listen to it. It's boring and not enjoyable and just really bad.
Yeah, well, he has the right to that wrong opinion.
Dude, I'm already in a fucking psychology class. I already know about it. Like I've already learned about it. All right? Like
I know that's why I brought it up to because I figured you're pretty much more knowledgeable on the subject than I am. I figured I'd get your take on it.
but I don't listen to a
But
6 hour fucking album, dude.
you said you could have listened to an hour like a day or maybe.
Even then, I don't want to fucking do that.
That's why I was holding this off because you said you weren't interested. So it's like, all right, well, I guess
Like
I'll find something else.
even listening to like an hour a day is like, dude, just listening to a fucking song and like staring at the wall. What the fuck, dude? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? I can't do that shit. Like, I don't have the attention fucking span to do that.
I don't either, and I listened to the full 6 hours in one sitting.
My dude, I'm gonna do that, and I'm probably gonna like fucking fall asleep after 30 minutes because I'm staring at the ceiling, listening to a fucking album that's not actual music.
I mean, they call it experimental for a reason. It's not exactly for, like I said, it's not exactly for everybody.
Dude, I'm
I
sorry.
find it haunting.
I'm sorry, but every time somebody has showed me music and they said it's experimental, it's just absolute fucking dog shit. It's just like actual AIDS. Every time someone has said, "Oh, it's experimental," I listened to it. I was like, "This is fucking shit, dude. This is
No, I mean,
garbage."
it's literally experiment because it's using like extremely weird techniques to produce the sounds. So when I say I mean like in the literal sense because it's an It's not like that shitty pretentious synthwave music where it's like, oh, it's experimental. Only the highest of IQs can understand it. No, I mean, it's literally experimental because it's.
Dude,
God, it's such a word.
if you're doing something that hasn't been done before, it's experimental. All right,
Well, in that
like,
case, then I guess it is experimental. Well, I mean, I already said it's experimental, so.
and I'm just saying, like, every time someone has said, "Oh, this is experimental," it's fucking garbage. Like, dude, I understand that this is like a really emotional album or whatever. It's just plain old. I don't have fucking 6 hours to listen to it, nor do I care that much about it.
And
Like,
I understand. That's why I'm saying I told you. You don't have to. I just thought it
like,
was interesting.
it's one of those things where it's like, obviously, dementia is a horrible thing, and I wish that we had a cure for it. But it's like, I'm not really sure that like listening to a fucking like album about it is gonna do anything for anybody It's just weird, and I don't care about it all that much. I'm not saying that I don't care about dementia being a thing. That shit sucks. I don't care about the fucking album that somebody made about it.
And that's perfectly fine. I just figured because you're not exactly practicing, but you're in like a class about psychology. You would have more of an insight than I would.
I mean, I guess that's true. I guess that's true, but it's like, you know,
I figured it would have been an interesting discussion, but clearly I was wrong. So
well, it's just that like I just don't want to listen to that. Like, I just don't want to listen to it, honestly.
and that's fine. You don't have to say. I get it. That's fine. Okay, I understand. You're not interested. Okay, well, I'll find something else to do.
Yeah, if we're gonna do a collaborative thing, we need to both agree on it. Like, if we're gonna do something like together, like a segment or whatever, like together or something.
I tell you what, though, even if we do have arguments like this, it's more productive. We have a more productive argument in 10 minutes than a politician done is a dozen 30 years.
That is true. All I'm saying is, like, if we want to do a collaborative thing where it's like a big segment that's like not really the podcast, it's just like a big segment of us doing something, it needs to be planned out long before, like a month in advance, so we can get it really up to snuff in terms of quality. And we need to know exactly what we're doing, and we both need to agree to it.
I just, it's fun. I know you haven't listened to it, but I just find it funny that the album is produced by a guy named the
Named
Caretaker,
what?
and it's about dementia. The guy that composed the music, his alias is the Caretaker, and he made an album about dementia. It's like he's the nurse and you're the patient. Shit like that I find interesting. I love little like innuendos like that. Cause I guess I'm just a pretentious arty fuck, but who cares?
I was gonna say, I'm like that in like movies, but that's really about it. I mean, if it was like a movie or something, I would watch it. It's just one of those things where it's like, I hope that people can understand where I'm coming from. I just don't want to listen to an hour of fucking music while like staring at the wall, just listening to it. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't think anyone wants to do that.
Well, I didn't exactly stare at. I mean, like I did other things, but it became extremely hard to do it because like the halfway through the album, like the 6 hours, I'm like, dude, this if this is what people actually go through, I am like, whew, I can't even do shit normally. Like I was trying to look through my phone while the music was playing, like halfway, like I think stage 4, and I'm like, okay, this I can't even focus. This is getting really surreal now.
I mean, it's already surreal. I already get how bad dementia is because I've learned about it. Like, without listening to the fucking album, like, just that is just bad. Like, it's literally quite literally like aging in reverse essentially. So
And there's like I guess since
it's
you don't
same.
really
It's the
have,
same fucking thing with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is like debatably worse than dementia.
in fact, I'm pretty sure Alzheimer's is the actual disease, but dementia is the diagnosis of it. If I recall, I don't know, of course, obviously, but I've
Well,
read
actually,
somewhere that
actually, dementia is a separate diagnosis.
yeah, because you can have dementia and not lose your memory, as far as I know, but generally
So
speaking,
basically, how it works is that everything that has a mind-altering component like that is amnesia, you know. And then there's like
mhm.
subcategories within amnesia. Like, for example, Alzheimer's is a type of amnesia, and dementia is a type of amnesia. But all three of those are different. Amnesia is like the broad category for all the diseases, and like dementia and Alzheimer's are two separate diseases.
I see. But like, since I guess you don't really have an interest in it, I guess there's someone with a flashlight. Oh fuck.
Like I said,
Oh shit.
I've already learned about a lot of it because one of my chapters in the fucking abnormal psychology book I was reading was literally about all like Alzheimer's and dementia. So I've already learned a fuck ton about all this.
there's a, I guess since you know you don't really have an interest in it, then I guess I have no worry about spoiling it. There's a part in stage 6 that if you listen, it starts getting like more back into like the musical part, and the ending is a choir, and it's actually supposed to be in reference to what's called terminal lucidity, which is present in dementia patients at like the ass end of their life, basically, where all like everything comes back
Yes.
and then it just fucking cuts. Like the music cuts, simulating the death. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, that's when I started crying. I'm not afraid to. I literally started bawling because like you can't just do that. You, it's like the disease is fucking with you.
Well, it's
It's
also
it's it's
it's also kind of like a foreshadowing thing if you really think about it. Because like the choir could very easily be the heavenly choir, so it's kind of letting you know that you're gonna die.
and that's what it, because you know it's obviously up for debate because there's no right answer, but you know there's people that think, oh, the choir is symbolizing the choir of the angels and you're ascending, or it could be the fact that you know your memory is coming back that one last time before you kick the bucket. Either way, it's fucking terrifying to think about, because like this, just to even imagine the fact that you know you've pretty much lost every cognitive function, and then only for it to all come back at like a week before you die. That's like terrifying to me.
Well, a lot of the time you lose a lot of cognitive function with dementia, but Alzheimer's you lose like motor function as well, and cognitive function. You pretty much lose all function.
And I've heard of reports, like I'm very interested in this thing, like because I'm pretty sure it runs in my family, so you know, little peek into my future, I guess. But like it genuinely interests me, and from what I understand, there's been cases where people have died in their sleep because they just simply forgot how to breathe. Like that is fucking scary to think about.
Cancer runs in my family real bad. I think every single person older than me, including my grandpa and dad, have had cancer. I think.
Whew. Thankfully I'm lucky enough to. I would argue dementia is worse than cancer because like yeah you can recover from that,
As well.
right? You can recover from that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
I got a
I've heard
little bit
people
of
take
things running
dementia.
in my family, like fucking diabetes, heart problems run in my family, and cancer.
I've heard people talk about dementia being a fate worse than death, and I tend to agree because like death is you know once it happens, it's done. But it like with them it just, oh, how do I explain it without sounding like a pretentious asshat?
I know that I wouldn't want dementia or Alzheimer's because anything where you lose cognitive function obviously is gonna be fucking awful. So
I I have short term memory. Like I can't remember what the fuck I ate last week, but I can remember like what flavor Slurpee I had 9 years ago.
like brain cancer, like you don't want brain cancer.
Yeah, like you don't want that shit. But and at the same time, you kind of have to talk about it because if you don't, it's gonna find a way regardless.
Well, a lot of the time, there's a lot of like. Here's the thing: when I learned about all of this in my class, I learned about all the causes of these neurological diseases, all the risk factors, all of the symptoms, the prognosis, the treatments, and ways to prevent it. So I've literally learned a shit ton about this to the point where I don't even really feel like I need to listen to the album, all right? Because I already know what happens. Like I already know exactly what goes on, and I don't want to experience what dementia is. Because why would you want to experience what dementia is? Does it
Well, I
really
mean,
fucking matter? Like, does it really matter? In my like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Does it really matter what the people with dementia like are like? Does it really matter if you can feel what they're feeling? Shouldn't you just be focused on like creating a fucking cure or like a treatment for
well,
it?
I understand. Well, I understand, but I would argue it's just a morbid curiosity. Like we as humans have an innate fascination with shit we don't understand. You know, like with death, for example, everyone is afraid of it, but yet they're so interested in it, and so they make these simulations as to what it could be like. Of course, you won't know until it happens, which even then you won't know because, well, you kind of can't know.
And see, death is always
But
one of
it's
those
just one of
things where I haven't been like super afraid. It's one of those things where it's like I know I'm gonna die, so I've already accepted it right now at this point.
well, I understand, but most people, at least, it's just one of those morbid curiosities where you can't help but think about it but you don't want to think about it because it's going to happen.
Dude, legitimately, I'd rather die than have any of my family members die before me. I'd rather just die before all of them.
I would agree with you, but for some reason karma has a weird thing to bite me in the ass. So I'm gonna
That's
just
what I'm saying is I would just rather like not see my family members die. If I died but they lived longer, I would accept that. I just die so they could live longer.
and it's fun because like I told you, pretty much ever since my granddad got tested positive for COVID, everyone else has been getting it, and I've been worried sick about everyone because they have a history of lung problems, and it's like, dude, this is like the one illness that like wreaks havoc on that shit. But from what I understand, my granddad tested positive for the Omicron variant, which isn't as severe as past ones, so long as you have your vaccines and shit, which we all do. So like, I've just been worried sick, and it's like, dude, is this gonna be like how it goes? Like, is this how it ends? But everyone seems to be fine. So
I was about to say like I've gotten COVID like twice. And I know a lot of people that have gotten COVID as well and they've all been all right. I mean, obviously some people aren't, but it's one of those things where I guess I'm not like super scared of it anymore.
well, here's the thing with me. Like when it first started spreading, like, obviously I'm hyper aware of my health because I'm a fucking hypochondriac. I haven't been diagnosed, but let's face it, I am. Like I see an ad on TV for an illness I don't have, and I'm like, I should get that just in case.
Just in
Like
case, yeah, of
it's that
course.
bad. It's that's that bad. And so like I've been on record many times talking to my parents saying shit like about getting it. I'm more so worried about you guys getting it because if you get it, then I have nothing else. I have nothing else. I have nowhere to go. Fuck, I can't get a job right now. So if you guys somehow get it, I'm fucked.
Yeah,
And
everyone it's one of those things where like eventually, people are going to die. You can't really do anything about it.
I know, and that's the thing, but not right now is the thing. Like, I know, you know, the only inevitable things in life are death and taxes. That whole spiel.
That's one
I
of those
know
things
that.
where it's like, yeah, you're going to die eventually, but you have to die at a time that I think is fair.
Like I'm 21. I shouldn't be worrying about this shit.
It's like here's the thing, like for my parents, it's like for example, like my mom, it's like my mom's like 40 something right now, like 43. She should live until like 80, and when she's like 85 or something, like now it's fair to die. Like it's
Right.
fair. At that point it's fair. I'll be like 60 years old at that point.
Like, because my granddad is currently 80 on the dot. My grandmother is like 76. My mom is in her 50s, her
These are your
early
fucking
50s.
grandparents?
Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck? That's not normal, my G. Your grandparents are like 60 and 50. What the fuck, dude?
No. My grandfather is 80. My grandmother is 76. My mother is in her early 50s,
Yeah,
and my dad
no.
is in his like early 60s.
Dude, that shit's crazy insane. Your mom waited so fucking late to have kids then.
I know.
Cause like, dude, that shit is like usually your grandparents are like 50 or 60, not fucking like 70 and 80. My great grandparents were like 80.
Well, they're also like heavily religious, so I guess they only wanted to have kids when the time was right.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
of course
I
that
never asked.
thing.
So
Okay.
I never asked because it's personal shit.
Like I said, like for
That's
example,
not
my
my.
great grandfather and like my great grandma were in like their 80s and 90s when they died. My grandpa and grandma right now are like 50s and 60s right now. My mom is like 40. So like what I heard you like when you said your grandparents are 80, it's like what the fuck? Like dude,
Well, I was born in. Okay, so I was born in 2000. So and
dude,
my
that's
mom was
crazy
like in
because it's
her
like your
early 50s.
grandparents are waiting until like fucking like 30. I mean like your parents are waiting until like 30, 40 and shit to like have kids.
And I mean, it makes because again, my pretty much everyone in my family except for me is like very heavily
I
religious.
know, but like
So like
here's the thing. I know that it's a religious thing, but that shit is unhealthy. You do realize that the later you wait, the older the mom and dad are, the more chances of like risk for cancer like fetal alcohol syndrome and like fucking Down syndrome, all that shit, all that increases. Literally, that's a risk. Those are risk factors to certain diseases. Those are risk factors. Having older parents, that shit is bad. That shit is really bad.
I feel like you're belittling me and my family.
I'm not. I'm just saying that like I'm not making this up. You can look it up. Having an older father and mother literally is a risk factor for diseases.
I'm aware. I can't fucking change that. I'm
I
sorry.
know. I know that you can't change it. I'm just telling you that it is.
Maybe that's why I'm the way I am,
I'm
and
pro-
so like hyper vigilant about that
I'm
shit.
just providing information. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, like, your parents can be as old as they want. I mean, it's their life. I'm just saying, like, my life, it just turned out different. My mom had me at, like, 21.
And that's like a 9-year difference, which doesn't seem like. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. She could have had me at 40 to 50.
Yeah, if she could even fucking do that. Like, after a while, you can't even have kids anymore. You just get too
Well,
old.
I know that. So I guess I should be lucky that it was in her like mid to late 30s then.
Yeah, dude, you could have just been like a cum stain on a sock.
Luckily, I wasn't. I can't say luckily because I'm me. So.
What time is it right now? 9:40.
Oh shit. Did we just have a productive conversation about an album you didn't even want to listen to, but not in the way I wanted to talk about it?
I guess so. I
I think
mean,
I think we did. I didn't want to have to discuss it like that, but it's fine. We got to talk about it, so I'm good.
I don't have any other things to talk about. So if you're set, I think I'm set.
Minutes before we got to wrap this up, so.
I mean, I was about to say we can stall for 20 minutes, or we can just cut and paste. I mean,
So Sam Hyde, crazy fucker, innit?
yeah, a little bit. Um, this video will be uploaded because we didn't fuck up in this one.
Well, to an extent, I mean, you did talk about a child having AIDS, so.
Listen, man. Listen, man. The whitest kids you know did that in like 2007, dude.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right?
Fair fucking enough.
Exactly, yeah. I don't really have to wake up at any specific time. My classes are all online, but knowing that I have classes tomorrow kind of makes me want to wake up early. I'm not going to, because I already told you, these are online classes. Nothing is live, you know what I'm saying? There's no meetings I have to attend. There's nothing. It's just do your readings, do your assignments, and your discussion boards and your exams every week, and that's it. So I don't even have to wake up early. I probably fucking am, Now the fact that I don't have to read everything, like, immediately. Like I have like 2 different chapters and shit to read. Well, not chapters, but like 4 different books and shit to read. So I have a lot of reading to do, but it's not like I have to sit down and read the whole fucking reading today. It's like I can read like 2 chapters like a day. That shit's not even hard. You know what I'm saying? That and the fact that both of my classes, the exams are fucking open book.
Oh.
Right? So I don't even like. So I'm not really worried about it. I mean, like I said, they have like these syllabuses that just fucking say things to do and stuff. So, like I said, all your classes always seem really bad and hard and awful before you do it. But then once you get into it and you realize that it's fine, it's like, okay, bitch, this shit easy as fuck.
And then they give you that one exam that's like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this in any way, sort of fashion. What the fuck do I do?
Right? I mean, I don't really have a problem or anything.
I have many problems, but school isn't one of them, thankfully.
Yeah, because you fucking dropped out.
Well, in fairness, I did start. I didn't start fights. I defended myself, but apparently that's not allowed in school. So.
I guess so. So, we'll leave you guys on that note that fighting in school is good.
Only in defense. I'm not advocating for fighting or starting fighting.
It doesn't
My
matter
mama
because
taught me that's not how you.
it doesn't matter because everybody knows how schools work. Somebody can be like kicking you in the face, and if you punch back once, like, well, you should have ran away and gone and fucking found a teacher or something.
You should have just went up and told the teacher. Yeah, I would
Exactly, yeah.
love to have told her.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
would have.
You
I
just
would have, but my face is bloody and my teeth are misplaced, so
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
like
even speak.
you can't defend yourself according to schools. You just have to like not do anything because schools are fucking stupid as fuck. I hate schools. Schools are cancer.
Violence is bad, okay? Oh, is that why that kid just kicked me in the face and dislocated my fucking
Woo!
bones?
So, on that note of a dislocated jaw, on that note, we're going to wrap it up. So, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.